Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kimlin Sykes doing another segment on My Mom Mondays. And on My Mom Mondays, we normally talk about, or well, I normally talk about events that is national events. But on today's segment of My Mom Mondays, what I actually want to talk about is a local event that actually made the news. And so, if y'all not too familiar, the event that actually made the news was the shooting out in Virginia Beach. And so, normally around this time period, of course, it's getting hot outside. So a lot of people they want to go to Virginia Beach just because it's one of the, one of the places that people go to just to have a good time. And normally it is just there just to have a good time. But unfortunately, sometimes events do occur where shootings occur. And that's what I just want to talk about. So if y'all don't know, on Friday, there was 8 people wounded, 2 people dead, and multiple shootings out Virginia Beach. And unfortunately, violence is not the way to handle these equations. And basically, that what I just want to say is, people with guns, guns are not the issue. It's the people who are handling these guns is what's actually the issue. And that's what the problem. Like too many times, like we think like, oh, this person has a gun, and like the gun is the problem. I'm a legal gun owner, and like sometimes my family looks at me as if like I'm the problem. The problem is not that. The problem is the person with the gun. And just from my personal belief is this: we need to do more in a way to make sure that those who have guns are at the right state of mind, or they are passing these background checks. Like for instance, the person that did the shooting in Colorado purchased a gun 1 week before he did the shooting. And if you look on the news or if you have heard anything about it, he has had issues with mental health. So it wasn't the shooting or the gun itself that did the shooting, it was the person. And if we did a lot deeper background check, like I said, he had mental health issues. Like a lot of people that said they knew him, from what I've seen, they said he had issues in high school. He had a quick temper. So this is not something that people are foreign to. His problems was a lot deeper than just that shooting. It was events that led up to him doing that shooting. And I just think like us as a society, especially with gun control laws, we need to do deeper background checks. Like I know people who works with the FBI and stuff like that, and their background check is difficult. And I think maybe we don't need to do something like that, because hell, like why would I want to do a background check that lasts almost 3 or 4 months just to purchase a weapon? But we still need to do some type of check, like some type of arrangements. I know it might take longer. Like maybe we need to have like a 3 or 4 day period where when you purchase that gun, they need to do an extensive background check, checking social medias and things like that, just to make sure this person is not exhibiting behaviors that are not triggering acts of like what occurred in Virginia Beach or in Colorado, where they had the possibility of killing another human being. Because, like it or not, if someone is killing people, their value on life is very low. And so, just that itself, like, just understanding their mental capabilities will enhance us or allow us to understand like what this person is going to before they purchase a gun. Because when they do that shooting, everything is over with. But it's leading events that led to that person committing that crime or committing murder or or shooting another individual. And also like with these background checks, I just want to say, just kind of stepping out a little bit off the grain, but going hand in hand with this. Like I talk a lot about the mental, and I'm talking a lot about as we speak on this segment of My Mom Mondays. I believe like initially, like the government needs to fund things at an early age for children, just to make sure that they have these programs out here so they could deal with the mental capabilities. Because like it or not, at home, you're not going to get an expert on how to handle your mental problems. So my initial belief is this, that we need to start at elementary school, like have like how we have like art and elective courses and things for fun. We need to have a therapist, like therapy session, not therapy session, but like a psychology class, just for kids, even at the early age, just so they could get an understanding of like what's going on or like how to deal with the mental aspect. And then when they get to middle school and high school, I feel like, and my boy Daniel over here, shout out to my production man Dan.
Production team of one, we out here.
Yeah, I got a production team now, so we stepping up. But getting back to it, though, I feel like, and he told me this, like in California, like states like California out in the West, they actually have licensed therapists on campus for students.
What I will say is a lot of those places are private schools too.
See, that's the problem. That's another triggering issue why violence does happen. Because if you don't have the funds to work on your mental, how the hell are you gonna be able to better yourself mentally? Mm-hmm. So, like I said, like they need to be licensed therapists in every school. And I'm talking about, and even if we can't do licensed therapists, your guidance counselors, you need to have at least associate's degree in therapists, in psychology. Just because I feel like someone who's licensed or someone who has that degree could give these students sound advice. And particularly, like I said, when they get to middle school and high school, they need to at least have a mandatory one-on-one session with their guidance counselor at least once a month, just talking about general issues. Because like it or not, like once you get to middle school and high school, and I talked about this before, you deal with a lot of mental issues, but a lot of the times it gets shoved underneath the rug. Because like it or not, like I feel like mentally I would have been a lot better off in high school and middle school if I had a therapist, because I was dealing through things and I didn't know how to control or manage my emotions. So I can imagine if someone who's getting constantly bullied, who's getting constantly told they're not worth nothing, or they go back home and it's just a toxic situation, they don't know how to handle themselves. They don't know how to manage them. They don't know how to manage their mind. They self-doubting themselves. They questioning themselves. So just for them to understand that, hey, it's all right to go through these issues. Just for them just to know that, like, at least in school, they have a safe place. And if they have something they need to get off their chest, they're able to talk to someone about these issues. Because, like I said, mental, you got to work on it. Like, if you don't work your mental issues, just like with the Virginia Beach shooting, is going to occur. And so that's my solution to the event of the Virginia Beach shooting. Also, another solution I have is just like around the community. Like I said, I personally make it out my effort now to check up on my loved ones, and even my neighbors around here. I always speak to them. Just because you never know what someone is going through their day, and you don't know how important it might be just for you to say, "Hey, how you doing?" or just making somebody just having a brief conversation with someone, because you might help them make a better sound decision on like how they're gonna deal with their day, or like they might be going through something, and just that 5 minutes of conversation might make them feel a lot better. And also another solution, and I'm pointing the finger directly at my community. And I know this might step over some people's feet, but in reality, we need to stress mental health a lot more in the African American community. I don't talk to a few friends, and when I tell them like go to a therapist, it's like I'm good. Like I don't think I need it. I go to a therapist every 2 weeks, most of the time. Sometimes it'd be 3, depending on how I could set up my arrangements. But by me going to a therapist now, it helps me out with making a lot more sound decisions in life. And so I encourage my community, us African Americans. I'm pointing the finger because I'm pointing the finger at us, at you, us as African Americans. We need to take the time to understand our mental. We need to take the time to speak to someone, because I'm gonna tell you like this. And I told my brother this. I said, yes, I'm working on my mental, and it's a lot easier for me to deal with things, and I'm able to make more sound decisions. But in reality, I'm not licensed for this. So when he comes to me with his problems, or my mom comes to me with her problems, I see them every day. Reality speaking, I'm not going to want to hear it every day. So just coming back to it, even us as African Americans, we got to understand, like, you talk to your loved ones all the time, telling them about your issues. It's not that they're the problem because they don't want to listen to your issues. It's just that they're around you so much. They're not going to always give you the most sound advice. So why constantly go to your relatives when you could go to someone who's licensed? Like my man Dan over here, we joked about it, but you don't go to a chef on how to change your oil for your car.
Yeah.
You don't. So why do I go to my cousin who, like
baby mama issues got this going on?
Exactly. He's not mentally invested into like all your issues and and give you best sound advice. He might not even be equipped to give you advice on that situation.
People get those tools. Yeah,
exactly.
Tools.
Exactly. So go to someone who's licensed, who's professional, who's able to give you that advice. And also like we said though, the biasness. A therapist is gonna give it to you straightforward. Your friends, your family, they might not give it to you straightforward because they might know how you are as a person. Or they might be more emotionally invested into what's going on and they don't know what's on the other side or the other side of the situation. Like I done had a situation as a supervisor before where I had a parent call my phone and was upset with me on how I treated their son. Or I said their son, how they treated their child, but they don't know what's going on at work. Like, and just putting that putting that all together.
2 minutes left.
Got you, bro. I'm better be done. Better wrap this up. This is gonna be the last part. But they don't know, like just putting that all together. Your friends and family, they're only going to be invested on your side. They're not going to be invested on the other side. So their biasness is going to be directed towards you. And like I said, y'all, unfortunately, the shooting event in Virginia Beach had to occur. And RIP to the two people who died. But like I said, people with guns are the issue. It's not the guns, it's the problem. And we could be safe if the right people had the right guns, and we need to do more as a community, as a whole government to make sure that events like this doesn't happen, because more than likely this is not an event that just happened. This is a build up on what transpired that led to this event. And so I just hope that we just understand the importance of mental health, but also how if we stress mental health now, then situations like this won't continue to transpire, y'all. And with that being said, y'all, this is Kimberly Sykes on another segment of My Mom Mondays.
Woo! Yeah!
For the background.